Hello everyone. Thanks for joining me today. Good morning to you all. Good evening if you're in the evening, and everywhere in between. Shadow Shane, thank you for joining me. It's Arnold, thank you for joining me. Hello ST. How you doing? Nice Rune Wolf emote. Can I get those? I want a Rune Wolf emote. I'm gonna take this beverage and put it over here, I think. Hey Fyodik, how you doing? I don't have my coffee this morning because I ran out and planned poorly. So I'm drinking tea instead. A nice English breakfast. It's been too long since I kind of dabbled in tea, so it's nice to change it up a little bit. Hey Tyler. Hi baby. How you doing? How was Portland, my friend? I know the answer to that already, but there's people in the chat and they would be curious, and I'm so jealous that you guys got to play Time Crisis 2 all the way through to the third act. My god. I had a dream the other night about an arcade cabinet for House of the Dead 2 that was well calibrated and worked perfectly. So Arnold says, I don't into coffee, I drink so much tea. That's interesting. You're not alone in that, I don't think. But tea has more caffeine, does it not? If so, maybe I should drink more tea. Loving the beta, thanks for your hard work, BB. Thank you, ST, for the support, and I'm glad you're enjoying yourself. I'm really excited to get Beta 5 out to you guys, so that you can get to testing, and then we can move to public release. Well calibrated too, it was such a tease. Ah, Tyler. Dang. One day I'm going to have an arcade cabinet, and it's going to have all the light gun games that we could ever want, even the ones that we don't even like the newer versions of Time Crisis and the House of the Dead, and it's all going to work perfectly. ST, just get some Mio Energy, 60 milligrams per half a teaspoon. You know what I'm actually thinking about doing, Tyler turned me onto this, is drinking this MCT coconut oil or whatever it is. Supposed to kick your brain into overdrive. I had some once. It was pretty cool. I didn't really do any work afterwards, so it was hard to gauge the reaction exactly, but I think it's pretty rad. Zarnel, some teas are high in caffeine, but most are lower or about the same as a regular coffee. Oh, there you go. If you want a caffeine delivery system, it's not optimal. Yeah, really, I just need like an IV that has a like nitro cold brew just injected straight into my bloodstream. I think that would be the most optimal scenario. So for today's video, if you guys have any questions, if anyone who comes in has any questions about the installation or the update from last Saturday, I will of course be happy to answer those questions for you. Otherwise, I think I'm just going to try and get some actual playtesting in. I thought a long time ago we were going to do a higher degree of combat, right? And it's been a while since I really sat down and tried to fight things. I spend most of my time, on the back end in tools like Xedit. And I'm very out of practice, I would imagine. Also, I'm not used to Skyrim Souls yet. So I'm excited to see how my skills hold up, and it's probably good to get some practice in anyway, since, not too long we're going to have Season 3. Let's see here. Mr. Pyrian, good afternoon. Belmont Boy in chat, good afternoon to you, my friend. Fyodik, I sent you the same message on YouTube yesterday, so sorry for double post. A couple things to report regarding current beta, mostly that particular weapons and armor do not increase speech when bought and sold. I guess it would be better to wait for B5 and report after this, right? I know that BCO is a huge undertaking, so these minor things could wait. Definitely they can wait, but, if you have a report, you have a report. I would say go into the Discord, into the beta channel, and report it there with as much detail as you can. And then, if anyone is so inclined, they will be able to help you test it to make sure that something's actually wrong with the installation versus just something else going on. Because that's very strange that specific weapons and armors would not register as things to grant you speechcraft experience, because I'm fairly certain that the mechanism for granting speechcraft experience is universal to like all items in the game, no matter what adds them. But I could be wrong about that. ST, have you thought of adding a hotkey system along with Skyrim Souls? Absolutely, I have. It probably won't make it into 4.0, but, well, maybe, because it is kind of important. I have a pretty substantial UI and control overhaul planned in general. I may actually be moving to gamepad as the primary control mechanism, or maybe even a combination of gamepad and keyboard. Regardless, because of the nature of Skyrim Souls, additional hotkeys and ways to organize your inventory on the fly are, I think, a little bit necessary. It's not terrible right now as long as you're prepared and you have your hotkeys set up, but having more can never hurt. And I don't know, it's something that needs to be paid attention to. I've been speaking with Duncan, I believe his full name is, because his name on YouTube is Dunk, the creator of iEquip, and also the mod for container and arrow weight restrictions. No, sorry, that's Sacroletius. iEquip, he's the guy who makes Hotkey++, is what it is. I've been speaking with him about iEquip, which, just if you guys haven't seen anything on that, it's an equipping overhaul designed. It can be used with keyboard or gamepad. He's told me that it's most fluent with gamepad, which makes sense when you kind of see how it's structured. It's basically an overhaul for switching items and managing your inventory on the fly. It looks really, really cool, and it has just a wealth of features that I think are absolutely amazing. I think it will work really well for the installation even right now, and I think it'll work doubly well for the installation once these equipment overhaul mods are implemented and configured. I'm actually playing with them right now. That is realistic capacity and cob encumbrance. I should probably go in and configure them just to make sure they're how I want them for this testing session. But you will notice that my carry weight is only 126 right now. The over and under, for those of you who aren't familiar with those mods, is that carry weight will be pretty significantly restricted. That will probably make it into 4.0 because it's a relatively easy implementation. And one of my goals for 4.0 is to restrict the amount of stuff that people can carry so that they are a little... It has several benefits. One is that I think in general, at least for me, and I think for other people too, it creates a quote-unquote more immersive experience because you have to be a little bit more selective about what you're picking up, and you're not just hoovering up everything you see. So that results in a couple other tertiary effects. It means that you're not making tons and tons of money off of everything you pick up because you can just, like I said, just suck it all up and sell it very easily. It encourages you to be critical and to think carefully when you're deciding what to pick up. It also, I think, really encourages you to think carefully about what you bring along on whatever adventure you undergo, because you only have so much space, of course, and all the gear that you bring with you also contributes to that space and may disallow you from bringing something back if that's what your goal is. I think it just makes for a more interesting system in general. And the other kind of byproduct is that you don't really have to spend as much time sifting around in your inventory menu, typically, like when you're out on an adventure, so to speak. And that's dangerous now because of Skyrim Souls. So I think it's a really solid effect across the board. I think it will take some getting used to. And the circling back point of that is that the additional hotkeys and inventory management, I think, will align nicely with those new features. Let's see. Also, have you thought of adding a hotkey? Just read that. All common staffs of Atronachs, for example. Could be wrong on my side, definitely. Hey, Snot Nose, how you doing? So, Fiotic, those staffs are, as far as I know, Requiem items, Requiem base items, so there could be something there. But I really don't know. I've never encountered items that do not trigger the Speechcraft experience. In fact, actually, we can test that very briefly before we go gallivanting around and getting ourselves killed. Hey, Dima, how you doing? Really good to see you. Or hear from you, I suppose. Read from you. Inventory at 61%. Okay, so here's our cob encumbrance. Let me see here. God, he's my new modder crush is David J. Cobb. His work is so excellent, and he just recently updated Atronach Crossing and Cobb Positioner so that they have even more features. I honestly might integrate Atronach Crossing, and even maybe in favor or in replacement of Hearthcraft, at least for a lot of the items, because it's got, the only reason I haven't implemented Astronaut Crossing before is because the system for which it distributes its furnitures and stuff is very different from the one that I have planned. In Astronaut Crossing, you actually purchase all of your decorations and furnitures from an MCM menu that kind of approximates a vendor window, and I want to distribute them throughout the world. It's not impossible to do that by any means with Astronaut Crossing stuff, but it does comprise a larger task to do. But I think just the quality of Cobb Encumbrance and its native support for the Cobb Positioner, or Astronaut Crossing, the quality of Astronaut Crossing and its native support for Cobb Positioner is just potentially too tempting to ignore, so I might have to go that direction. Let's see, I think you missed my earlier question. It doesn't matter if your character can move around during the template save creation. Your character should not be able to move around during the template save creation. From what I understand, there's a couple things that you can do in the MCM that kind of break that, but they're non-standard. I believe they're things that you shouldn't be doing. As to what are you doing that allows you to move around during the... You're talking about when you're floating above Helgen, right, in Skyrim Unbound. Fairly fine. Patiently waiting for Ultimate Skyrim to release soon. I'm glad, Dima. I appreciate the patience. Mac Morris says, I've had the problem with crafted enchanted staves with smithing. They wouldn't count towards smithing XP. Interesting. It could be that with those items, the Requiem developers have disabled their buy-in, so to speak, to the experience curves. And if so, there's probably a reason for it. It's not anything that I've ever seen before. Now, with crafted enchanted staves, I believe that at the very least, maybe they don't give you smithing XP because technically they're supposed to be enchantments. That is something I could see the Requiem team doing, and I believe the reason that they're even craftable from the Forge in general is because of a limitation on how the enchanting menus work. Let's see. I've had the problem with craft enchantments, but it's 3.4. So Balian can move around, and also another streamer, Alex, both playing Beta 4. So that is tricky because, I mean, I've configured many characters using Beta 4 and using I know that there's no official MCM instructions yet, so that could be part of the problem, and maybe people are activating things that should not be activated. But after like this character that I'm playing right now was entirely configured, and it's Beta 4 essentially. It's closer to Beta 5 now on my own build, but I've never gotten to move around, so I would be curious as to exactly what operations are resulting in the ability to move around above Helgen, because I've also seen people report that, like I said, it's typically because they're doing something non-standard, so to speak. Hazardous says, BB, you and Bailey need to sync your streams better. I can't decide who to watch now. Well, I only have one stream every week, and it's kind of, I mean, I could always move the time slot, but the reason I chose Monday is because it's very difficult for me to do weekends. Typically, I would do weekends because I think that it would be more accessible for everybody. I think that people are generally freer on weekends, but my weekend schedules are very tumultuous, and you never know what's going on. And a lot of the time I'm not here because Liz and I do like to visit friends, you know, around places. And I found that having a weekday schedule would be a little bit more stable for me being able to actually make it. But I don't know. Maybe one day. Let's see here. Watch on 2 devices. You could do that, I suppose. What's the worst that could happen when you're allowed to move around? I don't. It could be a couple different things involving Requiem scripts. I really haven't tested it myself, ST, because like I said, it's not something I've encountered. The advice to not do that kind of errs on the side of caution. I think it might also allow you to die with Frostfall. That would be another one, because I figure if you're moving around, it's possible for Frostfall's mechanics to kick in, and then you could potentially die before the template save is even complete, which would be problematic. I understand it's probably as vague to you as it is to me. Well, if you can come up with any of the, like I said, the operations that allow that to happen, I would be curious to know. Let's see here. Stage 1, speed modifier, that's all fine. Buff. I would say, let's try this at 50%. You get a weight percentage. Your character will reach this encumbrance stage when the weight of their inventory is greater than or equal to X% of their max carry weight. No. Oh, I fucked that up. Okay. 50%, and you get a speed modifier of 5, let's say. Stamina modifier, that would be kind of nice, actually. 5 might actually be too high. We'll call that 3. Stamina recharge modifier. Oh, that's actually what I wanted. That I don't care about. 0, and then the recharge modifier. Let's put it at 3. 3 might be a little bit overpowered as well. And then empty, let's see, weight percentage 0. Then you're just super fast. And this is when you're naked, practically. Buff. And then I guess that's the rest of these. Let's see, stage 3 nerf. I'm going to turn off all of these bad boys. Just a really simple implementation of this mod for now. Crush stage. I'm alright with that. Let's see, weight percentage 25. No, that one's disabled. And then this man, the nerf, is enabled if you are at... Okay, it is applied on top of Skyrim's built-in penalty for being overburdened. Well, then actually we don't need that. Cobb encumbrance, baby. Alright, now, the other thing is realistic capacity, which is here. And I want to check and see. So, Curace capacity percentage. This is interesting to me because your base capacity, what I might end up doing is raising this a little bit. So the way that realistic capacity works, for those of you who don't know, is that it essentially gives your character equipment slots the way you would have in like a traditional RPG. It's like your head, your chest, your legs, your gauntlets for armor, and then you know, all of your weapons. You have slots in which having an item equipped there makes that item essentially weightless, and the way that it does that is that, let's say that I believe the weapon slots work like this, where you can have 1 two-handed weapon, 2 one-handed weapons, and maybe like a dagger equipped, like a separate dagger. All those can be equipped at the same time, and they won't occupy any inventory space, or they do, but the mod will calculate the amount of weight that they have and add that onto your total inventory space, so that it's weightless in that sense. Yes, you got small weapon 1 and 2, medium weapon 1 and 2, and a large weapon, plus a ranged weapon and a shield. So all of these things are weightless because they are evenly distributed in equipment slots on your body. And what the mod also does is add carry weight based on armor pieces and stuff that you're wearing. This would be, I guess it's supposed to simulate, you know, maybe the armor that you throw on has like some pockets and stuff. But that part I probably am going to disable because we have another mechanism for handling additional carry weight, right? Things like bandolier, bags and pouches and backpacks and things like that. So I'm curious to see if I take this Curace capacity base, the base capacity added to your total capacity if you are wearing chest armor or clothing, and the percentage of the weight of your equipped chest armor added to your total capacity. Okay, so interesting. In this way, we should be able to add the... Okay, let's try this. Let's make this all 0. Boots capacity. Let's make these all 100. So, in theory there... let's make them 70. Or 70. Well, let's try 100 really fast. And see exactly how this is calculated. Go... Take my armor, put it on again. I know, I'm soaking wet. Sucks. Capacity set to 71. Okay. So I'm wearing a backpack right now, which is why that is. Let's see here. So I've got... Right now, I can equip an elven bow, elven longsword, steel spell sword of oak flesh. So all of these things should be accounted for, which I think is kind of nice. So in this way, wow, look at those wetness graphics. That's got to be EMB, right? It is. God, Boris is a fucking wizard, is he not? So all this stuff that I have equipped, not this, but all this stuff is essentially weightless for me. So you can see with a full pack, I've got a lot of potions here. I've got quite a few little other bits of gear that I'm carrying. I got a backpack. I still have about 50 carry weight, largely because of my backpack. But it's something to play with, right? And if I go down even a little bit more in the system and I undershoot that 50% threshold, I'll actually move a little bit faster even. So I thought that was kind of cool. You definitely can't carry as much, but you can carry some stuff. Let's see. So I'm going to see this. Let's see. BB, could you try the Speech XP, the Staff of Flame Atronach, or 02? Both does not work for me. So what exactly am I trying here, Fodic? Is this to see if there is... I get Speechcraft experience? Let's see. 2 hands, 1 sword. Okay, hold on before I get ahead of myself. Hazardous says, so realistic capacity overrides the Requiem weight reduction for equipped gear. No, it actually works in conjunction with it. And as far as I know, I could be wrong about this, but as far as I know, the only Requiem weight reduction calculation occurs in the chest piece, which is where the chest, when you put it on, it's halved. I don't believe that the same thing exists for the other pieces of armor, but like I said, I could be wrong about that. But that is why in the MCM menu for realistic capacity, for now at the very least, I'm trying to make it so that the two systems work relatively, they don't step on each other. I thought about going into Requiem's kind of, scripts and disabling the bit where for those of you who don't know, when you wear a chest piece in Requiem, let's say you have an iron armor chest piece and it weighs 30 pounds. Requiem, when you have that chest piece equipped versus just sitting in your inventory, will have the weight of the chest piece. It's also a system designed to approximate the how things are lighter if they are evenly distributed across your body. It's very cool. I would be a little hesitant, though, to mess with that because Requiem's Mass Effect scripts are very ingrained in a lot of different things, and to me, messing with anything involving carry weight and Mass Effect in Requiem scripts, it's a scenario where plucking one end of the spiderweb may have significant consequences on another side of the spiderweb, and you won't really know it. So I might just leave it as it is and just let both systems run alongside each other, because really what you're talking about there is just a slight increase in the amount of carry weight that you have. If you wanted to, you can even offset it using that slider in realistic capacity. Now, before we go gallivanting around, what am I testing here? I am testing to see if these staves really fast. Did I save? I did, didn't I? Yes, I did. Okay. Set timescale to 4,000. Let's make it morning real fast. That's not fast enough. 40,000. There we go. Time is it? Let's check it out. So I'm testing the Staff of the Flame Atronach. Both don't give speech experience, huh? I'll test it really fast. I'll just give myself a billion of them. 2 hands, 1 sword says, can these two mods be added on the Beta 4 build new, or do they require patching? Really, neither one of them should require patching of any kind. They're both entirely proprietary systems. I've looked at them both in Xedit. They don't override anything. I believe that one of the two might edit some sort of container list for something that doesn't really matter. So you should be able to just throw them on if you want to and use them. Ugh, those rain graphics, though. Let's go into Bellathor's real fast. Oh, I'm so slow. There we go. There we are. Bellathor. What are you? What the heck? Bellathor. What's your deal? I'm going in. BB, did you see the fix for the small text? Yes, I have seen it, ST. There's a few that are floating around now, and they definitely will make it into the installation at some point. I've kind of been worrying about other things at the moment, though. Nitba, I'm Monkey. I'm very happy for you. I love monkeys. Danju, hey, what's up, BB? How you doing, my friend? Thanks for joining us. Bellathor! Where are you? There's a stranger of some kind. My mans! Where you at? It's Monday. This is prime selling time. My bro, these are pretty cool houses, I gotta say. It's very cozy. I would love to sleep in a place like this. Really? Where are you, my guy?
This is the last time I'll say it.
Oh, God.
Out.
Fine, okay. Just, I'm leaving. But then open your shop up. Monkeys are vicious monsters. Worse than mud crabs. I would disagree. Maybe wild monkeys. I wouldn't fuck around with them.
You're not supposed
Oh my god, Bellathor, what is your problem? I'm just trying to sell you some fucking staves. Staves? Hell yeah, I love the idea of these two mods. I do too, two hands, one sword. I think that they're very cool. Once again, this was a Gatto suggestion back in the day. I swear to God, this project is thematically becoming very much his as well. I just agree with his taste, is all, in games and simulation and blah, 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 blah. Oh, fuck me. Yeah, alright. There we are. I probably, you know what happened is that I adjusted the timescale so quickly that he didn't have time to get to his counter yet. Whoa, that was weird. Do I not have the mod installed that changes what they say? Anyway. Alright, well, let's get these, or go help. What was it called again? It's difficult for me to scroll up the chat. I'm sorry. To check and see what the specific staff. Well, let's see here. Uh-oh, someone died in Morrowind. Oh, because they're material. Alright. Let's see here. These are the ones that were staff of fra blah blah. It's one of the original ones. Right, here we go. 2011D58. 1 and then 59. Actually, no, let's make it 15. And give me 9, 15. And then, just real quick. Oops. TCL. Where is your... There it is. Which one's which? Nope. Player.add item F. Fucking 50,000.
That price. Sure.
Alright, no one can see me, right? Yeah, okay, cool. Have all those? No. So that should give him a fair amount of gold. TCL. Oh, shit! Oh, I'll just pop back into the cell. There I go.
Yeah.
Hey, guy.
I'd even take a look.
Yeah, now he's got 59,000 gold. Tight. So let's see here. If I sell these, let's go one at a time, because that way we can really tell. Yeah, I should be getting experience for this. And it does not appear that I am. Look at this. Oops, well, I sold them all. I definitely should be getting experience for this, and I definitely am not. So it is not just you, Feodic. Now, alternatively, let's see here. Help. Actually, I'll just scroll up. Fuck it. Player.add item. Glass staff of... Where's my Atronach? Stalrum staff of Frost Atronachs. That's the Requiem one. because I know they spell it wrong, or they have that weird typo that I don't get. 9-8, silver staff of fireballs, lightning shocks, frost rune, wooden staff, glass staff. There we go. Player.add item 980726161. Give me 15 of those bad boys.
You just let me take a look.
Okay, so it does. I didn't realize that's how the mod worked. It only replaces the line that says, some may call this junk, me I call them treasures, or whatever it is. That's cool, because it still keeps the variety otherwise. Okay, staff of the... Which one's which? I want the glass one. Wait just a minute here. Where'd they go? Glass staff of the flame atronach.
I know what you're thinking. Just take a look.
Yeah, see, there it goes. Or is it here? Oh, that's him. I'm stupid. Oh my god. Let's see. Flame atronach. Glass staff of the flame atronach. Well, this one doesn't seem to be giving me speech XP either. What the F, David Blaine? No. Because I would definitely have leveled up speech by now. Let's see. Or maybe my speech skill's like high on this character? That wouldn't make any sense. Speech is all the way this way, right here. I got 0 experience for speech.
All right.
What the heck? Could it be a problem with how the XP has changed in Beta 4 with training? Training isn't broken. It's just got a really high multiplier, and that shouldn't have an impact there. As far as I know, that's like a single-use calculation. Let's try some other stuff that I have.
Yes. Take a look.
Let's see here. Now, I'm not getting speech experience for fucking anything, so this is not correct. There could be something weird with my installation here, because this is a very haphazard install. Oh, sleep to gain XP. It totally could be. 2 hands, 1 sword. I totally forgot that that's in this bad boy. Well, that makes testing this bug a little bit tough. Let's see. Can I sleep in his bed? Come on, let me do it. Damn it. Okay, well, I can do this. Help. Bed. Furniture. Player dot place at me. 2B01C. 1. Now this is my bed. Sleep once. Am I about to get like a dick ton of experience? Yep. There you go. Speech increased to 21. Well, that makes it tougher to test.
Please do look around.
See, some daggers do not work. You sold both common and glass. Right. So let's see here. This should be fairly easy to test. And then we'll go and do this otherwise. Because I know this cannot be tremendously exciting for you guys. Let's see here. Give me this.
Hey, the way you walk around at home is your own business.
Oh, I'm naked. That's right. Oh, shit. Well, okay. I need clothes then. Fuck. God damn it. Okay. Help. Rugged. No. Help. There we go. Look, now I'm not naked anymore. I'm just not wearing shoes.
Everything's for... Take a look.
I do like that they react to that. That'd be pretty shitty if they didn't, honestly. Okay. Staff of the Frost Atronach. We're going to sell these ones individually. This is one of the, like, exploits that still exist in the game that sucks. Is if you... It's not really an exploit so much as it is kind of like a bug. Or something I don't think that they stopped to consider. Or if they did, they didn't have time to fix it. Where you actually get more experience if you sell a stack of 15 items individually than you do if you sell them as a stack, even though the value is the same. Ooh. Yep, so I didn't get any experience of that, or it wasn't enough to up my shit. And this one, my guy.
Take a look.
Let's see here. Boom. This takes so long. Oh, well, there you go. I have a feeling it'll be enough to get me a level up anyway. Yep, so that one's getting me speechcraft skill. I don't know. Also, at the very least, it's not a problem with your installation, Feodic. It does seem to be an issue with the items themselves, but I've never encountered anything like that before. So I would... What would I do? You can make a post about it, or you can note it in the Old Sky beta channel if you want. You can tag me in it too and say that we did some brief testing on the stream and that it does seem to be working improperly, just to remind me. I can take a look at it later. Because that is really odd. I've never seen anything like that before. But there's always an explanation for everything. It's just why putting together these fucking large modded installations can be so strange. Alright, well, actual gameplay. A nice slanted bed, how comfortable. It did look kind of comfortable, I gotta admit. Now, let's see here. Do I have any healing poultices? Speed changed by 5%. I got skooma. I don't have any healing poultices, though. I don't know how to craft them either. So that's a problem. Let's see, no to Akari. Turn on my thing real fast. So, they have like beds or anything here? I need to update my E&B so that I get that occlusion. Got some bolts, leather helmet. I'll take the septums for show. The leather strips would be nice. I'm not really a crafting character on this guy right now. Now, how do I have these things configured? See, Elven Longsword. This is not ideal for setting up your... Like, you gotta hit it twice and then... Like, or if you want to dual wield it, you gotta come in here and do that. It's not the worst in the world, but if you have a lot of gear, it can be a pain in the butt. So I'm pretty looking forward to potentially integrating iEquip and just overhauling the control system in general. Honestly, I'm most excited about... Feodic, you're not responsible for any delay. I'm the one responsible because I decided it was something important to check. So don't worry about that. It's all on me. Everyone can be upset at me. And then we'll put it... How about this? When I put this stream in the VOD, do me a favor and leave a comment that adds a timestamp that takes them straight to the gameplay. That way anyone watching can just jump straight to what they want to see. Anyway, what I'm most excited about, to be honest, is the... Thank you, Adam, for the follow. The UI overhaul that I have planned, because user interface is something that I find very interesting, just conceptually, and I think that the Skyrim user interface that we have going here, it's not terrible by any means, but I'm getting pretty tired of having to circle my eyes around the screen in order to find things that are useful to me. Also, just, I think that there's better ways to do it to make it look even more clean and like a little bit more unified and chill. For lack of a better term. So, I don't know. We'll see. Now, I'm trying to look for, like, a bed here. Doesn't look like they have much lodging, these bandits here in this cave, where they're just sleeping on the floor. And I don't believe that I have the ability to craft any beds or anything like that, but we can check. Let's see. Kindling. Bedroll. Nope. The bedroll, I need the bedroll itself. And that I can only craft at a... I don't think I can craft it at all, actually. I might if I have a crafting perk, but I don't think I do. Yeah, if I had a crafting perk, then I could potentially craft something like that on the fly. I can't remember offhand. But I don't, for now. We could cheese it, but I'd rather just play this character straight up. So why don't we do this? Ale Braze Sabercat, consumed out of combat. That'll get our stamina up. That ought to make us nice and full. I'm a little bit thirsty, which is not ideal. And I don't have any water. Oh, shit. I drank the wine. Well, I'm less thirsty now for the meantime. Fuck me. I got the empty bottle. That's what I needed to do. In fact, here. Let's load that back. Because I don't want to be drunk. Does lowering the time scale... Let's see here. That's what these streams are for, to test things. Yeah, in some cases. ST says I was looking forward to the UI overhaul. Me too. It's coming. Believe me. It's just at a certain point. I'm honestly considering for the blueprint... Is this midnight? It is. I'm honestly considering with the whole... My next step in the big crafting overhaul, right, is tying all of the items to recipes and blueprints and distributing the recipes and blueprints throughout the world. The second part's not so hard. The first part, it's not hard, but it's extremely time-consuming. I could crank it out just over the course of like a couple days, but I'm actually considering making that like a post 4.0 thing and just trying to speed up 4.0 instead. I think what I'm going to decide on is when I actually sit down to really dig into it and just get like a general sense of how long it's taking me, then I'll make the decision there and then. But I would really like to get 4.0 out to all of you guys. At the very least, I'm trying to have it out come hell or high water by Christmas time. So maybe it can be a Christmas present like that. Adam, been watching Season 1 and going to catch up on these streams. Nice work on Ultimate Skyrim, man, and to all the modders, of course. Thank you very much, Adam. I really appreciate it, and I'm sure they do too. Ideally, the way that I kind of look at it is that I hope... I've spoken with a lot of modders whose mods are in the installation and had really good conversations about them, or with them about the project, and it always warms my heart when they feel as though the project highlights their work, because that's really part of my intention. I think that the mods have a difficult problem where they have to be built proprietarily, and because of the nature of typical Skyrim modding, most mods try to be fairly self-contained and create systems that don't step on other mods. But I think they shine most when they are made to integrate directly with other mods on a large scale. So I hope that they feel that way. I was thinking that, let's do this. Potion of heat. Yes, one of these. And give me one of... I have those hotkeys, I believe. Ale-braised saber cat. And then the other thing that I want to do here. Craft an item. Now I should be able to. Maybe this character doesn't have them. Oh yeah, here we go. Empty bottle. Village red wine. So now I got an empty bottle, which means if I... So what that was, in case you guys are not aware, is those are the recipes to dump out your alcohol bottles in case you want the bottle, but you don't want to drink the alcohol and get yourself all drunk. I'd also like to put away this torch. This is very dangerous, what we're doing right now. I'm going to try and take down a bandit camp or just find some sort of lodging for the night. Oh, God. There's a wolf. What kind of arrow do I have equipped? Steel. It'd be nice to take him out, but I can't really do much with the... With the, stuff on his corpse as of right now. Oh, shit, that's another wolf. Gotcha, baby. Alright. Was that another wolf? I really don't like running around at night like this. I could turn on my lantern, but that makes me a very easy target for the bandits. Let's see. I'm going to save right now. We're going to be save scumming it because I'm bad, and it's been a long time since I actually engaged in combat, seriously, and much less with an entire camp full of bandits. Let's see what we got here. I'm just looking for a place. I mean, I came over here to kill these bandits, but I don't know. Obviously, taking them on by night presents a certain opportunity, but also is much harder in some other ways. Oh, I missed. Fuck, I can't see where I missed from, though, because it's nighttime. That music in the background is so funny. Let me see. Where are you coming? You gonna come out and investigate? I see someone moving around in there. Oh, there they are. Oh, so I really missed. They went to where the... Oh, are they practicing? Thought I heard someone take a shot. Like an arrow shot. I want to keep this high ground. Maybe up on that other rock. But that oh, someone's chopping firewood is what they're doing. Well, if I could take them out, that would be real nice. Getting some sneak experience. This music is overly epic, I would say. What's that deer doing? Alright, they're not looking for me anymore. And who's chopping what? Ah, it's so hard to see. Is that someone? I think it is. Oh, 2 people. Alright, now, I think it would behoove me to take out the archer first. Oh, there's another one there. Jesus. Oh, he's going to sit. That actually is great. Alright, now I want to make sure, how are my potions configured here? Healing is 4, stamina is 5, and I do have some spells, do I not? What do I have? Alteration, yeah, I got mage armor on self, so maybe I'll make the magic a 6. And actually, oh, okay, so we got 1, 2, 3 at the very least, and someone's still chopping firewood. And I can't hear them, so let's go ahead and call that 4. Oh, that person's moving around. This fucking elk is just... I don't know what he's doing. I'm gonna go behind this rock to cast my spell here. I want spells. I want mage armor and self. Oh, shit. Who detected me? Is that too loud? Okay, we're good. And this fucking elk, you're gonna get me seen. I see that person. Our person in the chair got up and went somewhere. There we go. These are moving targets, though. And I can't see what their armor is, either. Oh, got him. Oh, but he healed, like, immediately afterwards. Shit. Uh-oh. They might have an idea where it's coming from. We gotta move. Move quick. Where are you guys at? That second shot, yep. They went and investigated where I was. You can really tell where someone's shooting from. You just have to look at the angle of the arrow that hits you. Oh, alright, so we got 3 at the very least. 4. I count 4. Got one. Fuck. Fuck, fuck, fuck. Just harry him. We killed that wolf, which is nice. Oh. Whoa. Now I kind of lost where I was. It's so fucking dark. I'll make a save real fast. Save scumming. For the sake of the stream, you know, I don't want us to have to do this all over again. That's my excuse anyway. Where'd you guys go? You could theoretically just sneak in behind them. Oh, is that them? Unfortunately, this area that I've moved to right now is... Hopefully the other ones aren't investigating around where I am here. So I only see one there. And this is... I was going to say that the area... Thank you, Kefi Krilla, for the follow. This location that I moved to set me up for a lateral shot, which is about the worst percentage shot you can possibly take. Alright, they're still checking around. And looks like they are losing interest. 1 and 2. It's pretty rad, I gotta say. That person's still outside, I believe. Am I crazy? Got someone silhouetted perfectly against the fire. Got him. And this time... Oh. Uh-oh. Oh, they really know where I am. Oh, shit. I might be in trouble here. Do one of them see me? Fuck. That's all 4 of them. God, if only I had some sort of... I don't know, like... area of effect. Patience wins the day. That's a good shot, but he's going to cut right in. Fuck. Come on, baby. Ah. Shit, I missed. Got that one. Alright, one's down. Oh shit. Oh, they see me. Oh shit. Oh shit. Where's that wolf? Alright, let's see here. Oh, here he comes. Alright then. Oh. What are you? You got... This is a Khajiit. Uh-oh. Wolf time. Yeah, get him. That's right. Ugh. Fuck. Shit, shit, shit. Oh, I'm taking arrow shots too. I can't see where that fucking archer is. It seems like there's more than one based on the frequency of those shots. And I can't see them. Oh, yeah. Fuck, there is no cover around here. And maybe one of these. I do have this absorb, though. Whoa! Oh, he's got fucking heals. Whoa. Come on. Come on. Just keep dodging. I see one over there on the ridge. If I stay behind. Ugh. I could drain his stamina. Whoa! Ah! Okay, well at least it didn't hurt that bad. I think the distance fall off for those arrows is actually helping me out here. Uh-oh. There we are. Oh! Shit! Oh, you done? I actually want to see something here. Oh shit, I'm gonna end up dying because of that. Oh, I can't believe I fucking tanked that hit. Got really lucky there. I've noticed that I haven't been getting many creatures to flee, or many humanoids to flee with the Requiem mechanics for fleeing. Oh, here we go. Oh, oh, it took her out. She must have been hurt already. There's 1 and 2. Let's see here. Give me those. Take some bread. Nah, I'm fine, actually, on food. I'm sure I can find more. Whoa. Healing poultice. Sweet. Hey, if this was with Ultimate Combat, there would probably be a bandit healing all the others. Bandits should not have healing magic, typically. Oh, shit. Whoa, maybe a little. I wouldn't be opposed to them being able to heal their friends, but within reason. Requiem's decision is that bandits typically, if they're using magic... Ow! Whoa! Fuck! Stop! Ugh! Jesus Christ. Am I out of my shitty healing potions? Whoa. Okay. I got one of these. Fuck me. Like with scrolls. Maybe. So we have Combat Evolved managing their kind of person-to-person AI and how they choose to attack and like when they choose to use what attack. So that's why you can see them being fairly smart about like when they choose to attack. They're not just constantly hitting you with that forward power attack so that you can cheese them. They're pretty tough to take on, but those additional kind of tertiary behaviors like healing according to, you know, like the people around them if they can. I would say that it doesn't implement anything like that. So, I would be open to it, although I also have been looking at the AI framework created by the guy who does Organic Factions, which looks to provide all of that and more as well. Was that all of them? Let's see here. Did I kill 4 or 3? I can't remember. There was one that I killed here, and then I killed 3. So that's good, actually. That's what we... Man, I'm surprised we managed to do that. Fly by night. Let me see. Here's this water. No, it's mead. I don't want that. Got some food in case we need it, and a tanning rack. I just want like a bedroll. But I suppose if we are gonna commit to this, we might as well go inside, right? That's tough. Did I have a... I feel like I had a missives quest to come here and clear this out, or like a bounty quest. Let's see. Nope. Just, oh, iron ore. That's what it was. This is an iron mine. What the hell? Do you guys hear that? Weird. Simply stupid. Belmont boy looking fresh. Thank you very much. Really. Looking like Bono. Bandits are smarter now, and Draugr are tough as hell now. Are you talking about in 4.0? The beta? Or sorry, the beta 4? 2 hands, 1 sword? Because if so, that would be resultant from the Combat Evolved changes and some of my own kind of little personal touches, but mostly Combat Evolved. And then also Requiem 2.0 as far as the Draugr go. Alright, now we are very tired, which sucks. But now we can do this, at the very least. Since we have our bottle. Oh, I already had empty bottles. Well, there you go. I should have kept the alcohol then. Let's do that again. And then fill it up, baby. Get myself a nice drink. Corrupted Slime says Organic Factions is an interesting mod. I agree, Corrupted Slime. I've actually been looking into it quite a lot lately for like a future implementation after a conversation that we had over the stream about oh, I got an endurance perk. Nice. About compromises between de-leveled world and level scaling. Really, not a single fucking bedroll or anything here. I guess who wants to sleep up here? I get that when you have a nice little mine to sleep in. How much do I have to pay you for you to install Ultimate for me, Mr. Pyrian? So actually, it's funny you mentioned that. A friend suggested to me this idea of remote install, like one-time fees, and it's something I'm actually very open to. So I was thinking about providing those as an option for the after 4.0 releases. For those of you who don't know, the current kind of structure with my Patreon is going to 4.0, the express install will be free to everybody, but after 4.0, the express installation files I was going to put behind my $5 tier on Patreon, and in addition to that, I wanted to offer like one-time installs for people both who are on the Patreon and who are not, so that, you know, let's say that you wanted to like pay a one-time fee and you don't want to go through the whole process of installing Ultimate Skyrim yourself, because it's like, what, like 7 hours in some cases. I thought that could be an option there, you know, and then just I'll set it up for you through like a remote install. It'll take me however long it takes. Not very long, I'd say 30 minutes to an hour. And then bam, boom, you don't have to pay any sort of subscription fee or anything like that. I thought that would be an interesting idea anyway. How much would you be willing to pay for that, Mr. Pyrian, out of curiosity? And I like a reasonable amount. Not out of house and home or anything. Because I'm trying to figure out if I were to do something like that, what the price points would be. Hell, I could even do like a... like if someone is in that $5... The thing that I really want to do is give as much utility as possible to those people who are supporting me on Patreon. So, like if you're in the $5 tier, which is kind of the current price point that I have planned for the Express install, which is subject to change, of course, but I'm thinking that's where it's going to be. I want to add even more stuff like into that tier to make you really feel like it's worth your however much you're paying. And maybe that could be like discounted remote installs, or really any number of things. Let's see. I'm quite unfamiliar with Patreon, so if I can find ways to support you, I'm interested. Mr. Pyrian, honestly, I wouldn't know. This is all new territory for me. Me too. Shadow Shane says, I mean, it's difficult to gauge something we never paid for or anything similar. That is true as well. It's like if you don't have any point of comparison for what the experience is actually like, and what you're paying for, I can see how that'd be difficult to gauge. Let's see here. Oh, come on. Fuck me. Oh, fuck me. Okay, I'm running outside. Oh, maybe he'll trigger the trap. Nope, he didn't. Okay, well, oops. Here's what we're gonna do. We are gonna pop our sword back out. Come on, baby. I'm gonna pop my mage armor, because I should have... Up. He followed me out. Yes, he did. Alright, my guy. Ow. I have the high ground, Anakin. If I can just keep draining his fucking stamina. Oh. Ow. Fuck me. He hit hard, and I don't have much in the way of healing items. Shit. Ow, ow, ow. Fuck. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go back inside. And what is the trap? What is the trap that is triggered by that pressure plate? The pessimist in me wonders, would you provide support if there was issues with that? Oh, shit. Here we go. Oh, come on. Fuck me. Oh, we are in trouble here. Oh, there I went. Fuck, I'm gonna load back. Auto halted stream camp, the first one. Yeah, and they just completely missed him. All the rocks did. The pessimist in me wonders, would you provide support if there was issues with that installation, because then you'd have to factor that into cost? Oh, absolutely. I mean, if you're paying for a service, what you're paying for there is for the thing to work. You know what I mean? And so I think it's only fair to provide like support on top of that. But also installing Ultimate Skyrim for me is a lot easier than doing it, or than someone doing it who's never really done it before, who doesn't have familiarity with all this stuff. It's like I could install the entire installation just in my sleep at this point, more or less. So I think it'd be all right, but there definitely would be some kinks to work out. BB Hazardous. I think you may have mentioned this in the forums. Once the public releases out, will you post a list of the proprietary features of US? It'd be helpful for those of us who are familiar with Requiem and the other mods, but don't know what other changes to expect in addition to the mods. I mean, as a separate list. That is something I would really like to do, Hazardous. It is a very time-consuming task. So what I'm actually hoping for is that maybe after... Because I agree with you that it needs to exist. There just needs to be something that lists all of the new changes that Ultimate Skyrim makes to everything that's in the installation, because it's very numerous and some of them are very small, some of them are very large. They should be listed somewhere. And I'm hoping that I can enlist some help from the community, people who are familiar with Xedit and who know exactly how to discern those changes. Hopefully they can help me collate a list like that at some point. I was even thinking about like a wiki website to host that would allow us to have all the information hosted online. There's a couple different options that I'm looking for, but rest assured that it's a priority for me, if not the absolute highest priority. Feodic says, guys, just test the speech skill changes in new MO profile with only Requiem installed and it doesn't work either. Interesting, Feodic. So maybe it's like an intentional choice, or maybe it's an oversight of some sort. Mr. Pyrian, I'll check out Patreon, but this honestly seems like a quality idea for you. I'd be interested to see you flesh it out and possibly be a purchaser myself. I definitely know a couple friends who'd benefit from that service too. Well, thanks for the vote of confidence, Mr. Pyrian. I think, honestly, if I decided to do something like that, I would share your concerns about the idea of, like, you know, support and everything like that. And I think that because the idea of monetizing anything in this sphere is pretty tentative anyway, right? Because of that, and also because of my own personal beliefs in this area, this also could be subject to change. But if I did like a one-time install thing, I would also want to implement like a money-back guarantee situation where, like, really, if you aren't happy with the service that you receive, I think that you should not have to pay for it, you know? If it doesn't work for you, or you encounter problems and I can't sort them out for you or with you, that's where I lean as of right now. Like, I can't, all of this is speculative and all of it's subject to change, just like the features in the actual game experience are subject to change, but those are the kinds of things that I think about when I even step into the arena of, like, service installs and things of that nature. Two Hands, One Sword says, where do I put cob encumbrance and realistic capacity ESPs? I put them right underneath or right above the Ultimate Skyrim ESPs, 2 hands. But like I said, they're all proprietary. So except for those container changes, I would just put them right under Ultimate Skyrim EXP. And by under, I mean above. Sorry, that's confusing. So if Requiem for the Indifferent is at the bottom of your load order, put Cobb Encumbrance and Realistic Capacity above Ultimate Skyrim so that Ultimate Skyrim is overriding any changes that they make. Do I have a link for my Patreon? It is patreon.com/Belmont_boy. I would type it in chat, but it is a huge pain in the ass to alt-tab out of this game, unfortunately. Okay, sounds good, thanks. Somehow I was under the impression that when authors do their work, they have an ongoing log of the changes. Let me ask you this. If you don't keep such a list, how do you even know what you changed in the past? Well, so you're not wrong that people have an ongoing log of their changes. And that is something that I did have as well. It's really good practice. And I do have a list of, like, I have like a 4.0 change log, right? That is on my own, like, personal documents. But even that does not comprise all of the changes in Ultimate Skyrim, because obviously from 3.4 even to 1.0, those changes would still need to be tracked as well. And I didn't have a change log from 0.0 up to 3.4, you could say, because I was just working on it like really fast and heavy and disorganized. So now I have a change log, but that change log still, as of right now in the structure of the Patreon, it contains information that's sensitive to the betas. So I wouldn't be releasing it until 4.0 releases. Also, like I said, it doesn't contain any of the changes from the first versions of Ultimate Skyrim. So really the whole thing is a mess and needs to be comprehensively curated. I need to go through, or we would need to go through just everything that's in the Ultimate Skyrim mods and plugins. Just to really collate a complete list of all the different changes that it makes in order to be comprehensive about it. All right, cool. No worries. Thank you. Good morning to you, Rerile. Okay, makes sense. Just to be clear, I don't think you need to list every little detail, at least the more significant changes, nothing too deep. I'd like to, within reason, I would like to get everything in there, because it's tough when you start trying to distinguish between what's important and what's not. I mean, within reason, I suppose. See, Dr. L, I'm experiencing a lot of crash to desktop in the latest release of US. No error message. Do you think it could be a memory issue? Typically speaking, yes, Dr. L. Random crashing is almost always a memory issue. Are you talking about 3.4 or the latest 4.0 beta? Because the latter would really surprise me. But typically speaking, if you're getting random crashes, it's an ENB issue or a memory issue. It's always a memory issue. The ENB would be able to help you, but your ENB local needs to be configured properly. Yeah, so 3.4, are you using an ENB? If you're not, you should be using EN Boost. Regardless, you're going to need help configuring your ENB local properly, and the Discord or the subreddit are really, really useful for that. People would be happy to help you, I'm sure. And also, the Discord actually we have a bot, the Courier, that has a command that RuneWolf built in that will actually help you calculate the values that you need for your ENB local based on your hardware configuration. It's very fancy and very nice. I love Courier, actually. RuneWolf has created something very special in my mind. This cute little bot that has all these awesome features, and he's always adding more too. Okay, whoa. Alright, so now we're going to do this intelligently, which I would like to claim I would have done the first time had I been paying attention. Is that guy wearing iron armor? I think he is. Is that him even? No. What am I even shooting at here? Okay, there's a guy. I see you, boy. He is wearing iron armor. This is gonna suck. What? I think I hit the geometry of the... Okay, well, first of all, before I do this, I'm gonna sneak back up the hill. Switch here. Hopefully this isn't too loud. Fuck! I knew it would be. God damn it. And I missed that one. Whoa. Whoa! Seriously? Ah, fuck. Alright. I gotta watch out for those rocks. Don't trip over. You're gonna kill yourself. Watch out. Ow. Fuck me, dude. Jesus Christ. This bandit is not messing around. Let's try that again. So you guys can see that I'm taking a knee after every death. That's the new death system that if I were playing... Oh, shit. That's the wrong one. If I were playing not like a baby right now for the purpose of a stream, I would be transported back to the last place that I died. It's only fair, you know? Alright. Save. No. Well, that's fine, actually. Belmont can't play the game he has created. That's absolutely true in a lot of cases. Well, really what I would be doing here, to be fair, is I would not be taking on this bandit camp. I'm doing this because I think it is more exciting, but I think that this character, even the fact that I was able to take out those 4 bandits out front is lucky and also a result of us using the terrain intelligently. Right here, it's a little bit tougher because we're in close quarters. I could try and fight him outside, but this guy's not fucking around, and honestly, it's not helping a whole lot my gear in the specific way that my character is geared. Oh, well, fuck me. There you go. I thought he was wearing heavy armor. Is he not? Here's some iron ore. I guess, is he wearing light? I couldn't tell. God, I really wish that I could keep, what's it called in the installation? How's my health right now? It's not great. I really wish that I could keep telescopes because I really love the features of that mod. It just doesn't work with Skyrim Souls. Ooh, he's got a flawless ruby, baby. Key to halted stream mine, yes please. How does this compare to what I got going now? Skyforged steel. I do have this elven longsword. It's pretty good. But oh, I forgot that this fucking... I'm so dumb. Why have I been using well, it's because I forgot. But I forgot that this sword contains oak flesh. So this whole time we could have been using our... Damn it, I totally forgot. Well, I'm going to start using that. Let's see, did I say before that attacking bandits at low level is a bad idea? Yes, hazardous. And that's how it should be, in my opinion, frankly. I'm going to make another save right here. Also, can we just give a shout out to Snowfall ENB and also the realistic lighting interiors in here, and also Gado's patch for realistic lighting interiors, and also dynamic dark, realistically dark dungeons, or DDSID. I can't remember what the exact abbreviation is, or DSIDD, whatever it is, because all those mods are working in conjunction to make this place look fucking rad as hell, in my opinion. Would you say using TK dodge is OP for USBB? It definitely errs on that side of things, I'd say. The dodge from TK dodge is really intense. It really dips you out to whatever direction you dodge. I don't know. I haven't used it in a while, and it's definitely been updated since the last time I used it. Excuse me. So I don't know definitively, but I would say so if you just had to, if you put a gun to my head. I'll take another one of these. Just because Requiem already has a dodge mechanic for light armored people, what I would say is that I don't think it's crazy for heavy armor characters to be able to dodge as well, and they can't in default Requiem, which is like, you know, kind of not fantastic. So I don't know. Honestly, I can't give you a super informed opinion because, like I said, I haven't used it in so long. Seriously immersive dynamic dark dungeons. That's what I'm thinking about. It really is a fantastic mod. Also, it looks fucking cool as hell in here. I'm gonna make another save because I'm a bitch. Save scumming, baby. I just can't believe we're managing to do this at all. There's our boss. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and say that I don't know, it's tricky because we get one shot, essentially. We could use that trap above his head. But the other option would be to potentially get a sneak attack off on one of the weaker enemies, because it's arguably better to take a weaker enemy out so that we only have to focus on the bandit leader. It's a difficult decision we have here. I think I'm going to go with the trap. Boom. Oh, they actually have not seen me completely. They will in a second, though. Oh, yep, because I went into the light. Alright, here's what we're going to do. Close this door. Oh! No, damn you. Oh, I barely got that block off. Oh, shit. Okay. Whoa. Oh, I didn't know that we didn't trigger that trap yet. I would have totally used that. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. Okay, here's what we need to do. We need to use that potion. Or did I already use that potion? Shit. Uh-oh. Being wet causes you to gain exposure much more rapidly. You don't say. There are only a few things. Oh, God. Cutting back up here. I want to be careful not to use all my stamina. Here they come. Did I use that? Did I use that already? I did not. Okay, cool. So at least we got some healing. What's up, my guy? Oh, this is... I don't want to fight you. Oh. Really? Now you have the high ground, Anakin. Fuck. Yeah. Where's your buddy? Oh, look, there's a giant over there. What do you say that we get him into the mix here? I think that could help. We could also use Midnight, honestly. Oh, who are you fighting? Whoa! What is going on over here? Oh, God! Oh, Jesus! Okay, I'm turning my lantern on. Oh, my Lanta. Oh, he's backing off. Oh, no, here he comes. Hey, guys. Hey, guys. Help. Who are you fighting? Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. You're not coming after me, are you? Oh. Oh. Yeah, get him. Get him. Oh, fuck. Did that actually work? Hey, Sacoletius. How you doing? Oh, fuck. I think we did it. It's kind of the bitch way to go about it, but I'm alright with that, honestly. I don't think his friend followed me out here either. Jeez. Bandits. Brown gloves. Got some warm gear. Poacher's axe, huh? It's kind of cool. Raw goat leg. I can cook that. Its raw taste is revolting to anyone but those with a strong stomach. Damn. I can't see. There we go. Oh, Jesus Christ, stag. Can we get close enough to these guys? Is this our orc man? No. Bottled water. I'll take it. An apple. Heavy hunting bow. That's pretty good. I'm going to quickly run out of space here, though, if I'm not careful. I haven't decided how I feel about this mechanic, right? Being able to sense the bodies of dead people. Because I almost feel like it's better if you can't... Because you wouldn't be able to, right? Like, it's nighttime. It's difficult to, like, see... Oh, he's got a Nordic sword? Fuck. I gotta be careful. He's got all kinds of scrolls, too, this guy. Who made him? Oh, Requiem. Give me this and that and that and that. Dude, this guy had the fucking shit. Oh, my God. That was a very weird expression that I just said. It's 4 bandits versus mammoth encounter. Whoa, okay. Ominous presence, hello, how you doing? What the hell were they fighting? They were fighting bandits. They're fighting something else now, too. OMG, a real live BB stream. Thought I'd die before I caught one. Well, I'm glad that you managed to catch one then, Last Pharaoh. I always do them at the same time every week. 10 a.m. on Mondays, but I can understand if you can't make that one. Oh, he's got a flawless ruby, baby. Look at this. We're getting all kinds of stuff here. Idar cheese, empty skooma bottle. I'm good on the bottled water, honestly. And let me see. There's so many more gems in Requiem now. As oh, this poor fox. Poor little guy. Alright, I want to check our boss guy. Our boss bandit. I just don't want to get so close to these bros. Here he is, I think. Oh, he's got dwarven boots. Got an amethyst. He's got cooked venison steak. The Blackbriar mead. Pretty decent. The potions of healing. I'm really all about. Go septum. Roast horse haunch. It's pretty tasty. I'm going to give you back this go leg. I don't really need that. Weighs a lot too. Alright guys, thanks for the help. And that was lucky. Let's see here. It was the 4 bandits versus mammoth encounter. I actually fixed the giant physics, aka Project Dove. No way did you fix the giant physics, Sacroletius. You're a champion. Because they do just send you straight into the ground and then straight up again. What did you do? Out of curiosity. Alright, now we're going to have one more bandit potentially to fight, I think, here. Let's go. Boom. Well, now we have a lot of stuff, though, to use, so let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Elven bow. This heavy hunting bow. Oh, it's a heavy bow, though. Not sure how I feel about that. Let's see. It says much higher damage output than anything I got going here. Don't need the elven longsword. It is heavy, though. Silver staff of fireballs. I think I'm going to use that. But I don't know. It's close quarters, so maybe not. Maybe that's not smart. Let's try. Where's our scrolls? Ice spike, lightning bolt. Probably going to go with this one because he looked like a melee combatant, I would say. Can I put that in my... No, I can't. It has to be in my right hand. Okay, well, I'm going to do that and then put the Nordic sword in my left hand. How about that? Holy smokes, what's with those shiny visuals? If you're talking about on my character, that's just like the default Skyrim enchantment stuff, which actually I plan on removing, like the rim lighting. Where's the other guy? Oh, did he actually die here? Did he trip over this fucking thing? I think he might have died. I was wondering why he didn't follow us outside. Well, that might be it, guys. We might have just cleared this bandit camp. Unless there's someone else over here. My oak flesh just wore off. Let me see. No, I meant on the posts at the entrance of the mine. Oh, I missed that last pharaoh, unfortunately. Remember, oh, Bethesda did fix the giants originally, but it was brought back by community request. They bring that crap back, but remove Dawnguard vampire attacks in towns. To be fair, I think the vampire attacks can be very cool, but they also are a little confusing to me. I guess the justification would be that the vampires are, like, they're supposed to be getting so bold that they attack people, like, in the villages. But it seems kind of dumb to me for vampires to do that. Or if I was a vampire, I wouldn't do that. Wow. Well, I think, is this it? Is this the whole thing? No one else? I know that there is a trap over here, in case we make it in this way. I'm going to trigger this trap. Oh, there's several traps, actually. Damn, that's a lot of traps. Oops, I'm level 12. Now vampires are rampaging. At the very least, Requiem would edit them to raise the level in which they start appearing. Oh, I got gold. I don't want to... What? There we go. Got a coin purse. Let's start. We got all kinds of raw meat in here. That's pretty cool. There we go. Got this poor mammoth. This guy is the only one who doesn't react to the hunter-born mechanics. Because he's actually counted as a container and not a dead animal. Although you could, I guess, rationalize it as he's already been processed through hunter-born mechanics, but he should be skinned in that case. Ooh, corundum ore, huh? Let's search this boss chest. Some flawless ruby, potion of healing. That's kind of a crap boss chest, but we got a bunch of other loot, honestly, elsewhere. Coin purse, Nord mead. Take this potion of healing deficient. Potion of rigidity, why not? Potion of ably defending. Spell tome lesser knock. There you go. And I believe I have alteration skill in this character, do I not? Let me see. Whoops, that was where I wanted to go. Silly me. Yes, I do. 25, so I should be able to learn that, actually. How about that? Start unlocking some stuff. I think. Spell tome, lesser knock. The caster projects a snarl in reality that flips the tumblers on any novice lock. If empowered, the spell can also unlock apprentice locks. Let's see here. Oh shit, I missed a lot in chat. Vamps are here, time to run. No kidding. Yeah, Dawnguard DLC is supposed to be a vampire apocalypse. It's true. The problem is that, with the vampire attack. Okay, so I get what you mean, Sacriletius, where that's why the vampire attacks are, justifiable, is because the vampires are literally getting so powerful that they're going to start making moves on civilized society. But from a game sense, in Requiem at the very least, vampires are so fucking powerful that you start getting random vampire attacks and it's a nightmare. Vampire apocalypse doesn't mean killing off your food source. It's true, but they have other ways. I mean, what if they have like a steady pack of thralls? I don't know, you can justify it either way. Wonder what quest will be broken now. Let's see, BB, do all mods need to be rectified? E.g., I installed more HUD inventory and also a music replacement mod and put them on the bottom of the list and haven't run rectificator. They seem to work fine. So it's always a good idea to rectify, if you mean rectifying as in running the rectificator, it's typically a good idea to do that whenever you adjust your load order in any way. Just because some form IDs can get messed up otherwise. Pause it. Typically, I think when people use the term rectifying, they mean patching a mod for Requiem. And in that case, those kinds of mods typically do not need any sort of edits to make them workable with Requiem. Oh my god, I'm sorry, I gotta drink more of that. That was so good. Drink lots of water, everybody. It's the best thing you could do for your health. For your health. You see, well, they were skinning him, but you ruined the skin by setting it on fire. Oh, did I do that? I didn't do that. The oil's still there. I only set the guy up on top on fire near where we are. There isn't any sense of a vampire threat. That I agree with. You definitely, when the vampires start attacking, you do get a sense that there's a threat from vampires kind of taking the province by storm. ST, I'm back. Grab some food. Talking about vampires, are we? You know, just vampire talk, just vampire things. Let's put the level requirement of Dawnguard to 50. I think 30 is the goal, typically. Just because at least that way, when it's like 30, you can start to... I think a level 30 character actually could reasonably start to take on Dawnguard content if they know what they're doing. Also, I like the idea that... One of my favorite things to do is allow players to challenge themselves if they so choose. So restricting, there are mods in the installation like Dawnguard, like Dragon, or actually maybe not Dragonborn anymore. I might have changed that. Like Undeath, which is an extremely high level quest line, at least for the ending content. Locking those mods off behind level requirements is something that is tricky for me because I like the idea of players to be able to challenge themselves and take on that content if they want to, but unlocking them or not setting a baseline level requirement does cause a difficulty spike problem for players who don't know what they're doing, players who assume that they'll be able to take on content that they definitely can't, and then that can result in a pretty shitty experience. You could also make the argument that people just need to get used to running away from stuff that they conceivably can't take. Or if you start the Undeath questline, find that it's pitting you against a bunch of undead things and vampires and liches and stuff, then you're going to have to turn tail and come back later. But then, sometimes it creates this problem of urgency where a lot of quests treat what's going on in the quest as though the events are time sensitive and urgent. And so it creates kind of a narrative disconnect when, you know, someone's telling you, oh my god, you gotta come and help us because this crazy thing is happening and you need to come and help us right now. And then you kind of fuck off for 30 hours to go pick flowers. And then when you come back to do it, everything's still exactly as it left it. And, you know, whatever urgent thing was happening is still happening. And don't you know it, you can just jump right back in and continue helping. Let's see here. I love Vamps in Skyrim. Hi all, I made it. Hey Felix Lucius, how you doing? Almost forgot your stream. Well, we're happy to have you. Sorry, I meant running Rectificator. Totally gotcha, Hazardous. Hopefully that answered your question. Requiem 2.0 vampires are bugged. I actually did hear something about that. I can't remember though what it was. Mr. Pyrian, sorry to ask again, does Ultimate Skyrim support VR? Not as of now, at least not by anything that I've done. I don't know much about Skyrim VR at the moment because I've had my attention focused here. I don't know exactly what requirements exist for Skyrim VR or even how it works. Or I guess it's like a separate instance of the game too, so maybe there's some sort of porting tasks that need to be done. What I would say is that it's very well, if Skyrim VR runs on Special Edition as a framework, then already it's incompatible. Also, VR experiences typically need like a solid 60 frames per second at least in order to not make the person throw up. And I can say that doesn't really exist in Ultimate Skyrim despite our best efforts. Oh shit, I missed chat. Better yet, make Dawnguard start when you want it to start. Agreed. Felix Lucius, water and coffee all day. Hashtag just vampire things. What if the vampire attacks are just vampire thralls, no Requiem ebony vampires? Well, I do believe that is how it is, even in Requiem's implementation of the Dawnguard random attacks. But Requiem might have removed them. I can't remember. It's been so long. Shadow Shane, I mean, in a sense of food sources, that seems even worse, sending your food to kill other food. Oh, that's true. Thralls are in those packs, aren't they? I forgot about that. I ran from most vampires until like 35 to 40, but I'm a priest of Julianos, so my build may be affecting that. Running off to pick flowers is the real Skyrim experience. Absolutely. I totally agreed, Sarnal. It's calming. You heard it from me, BB. I'm the author of the Sacrosanct patch. Oh, shit. I did not put that. Dude, how many? You got so many names across all the different platforms. I got you, though. Since Morrowind originally released, I've not made a character that doesn't dive off into the forest or whatever to pick flowers and scrape moss off of rocks. It's calming. It's nice. It's a nice way to take in the worlds that they create for you, which I will say is where Bethesda truly shines, in my opinion. Hell, even Oblivion, for just being like a fairly standard, generic fantasy world, is beautiful, man. Like, I've been watching, I've mentioned this in the past, I have been watching a Let's Play of Oblivion by the LaFave Bros. They are the guys who did these hilarious Oblivion memes back in the day. And they started Let's Playing just kind of randomly last year. And they're actually really good at it, and I really, really like their content a lot. And it's been a real delight to watch someone play through Oblivion again. They're playing it on Xbox 360, so it's entirely vanilla. And even still sometimes I am taken aback by how beautiful that game can be. Overarching point being just that Bethesda does put together some beautiful worlds. Morrowind being my favorite, just aesthetically, but that's just because Vardenfell is so weird. That's what I like the most. I like Skyrim a lot for that reason. It's like a little bit less generic than Oblivion, has nice biome diversity. But I really enjoy the area and the environment of Morrowind most of all, I would say, with Shivering Isles probably being a close second. Potion of Featherweight. This is another thing I'm thinking about doing, is taking the amount of potions. I was going to make potion weight twice what it is now, just because I think that for balance sake it might be chiller to only be able to bring along like half as many potions. But we'll see. We will see. I want to see how I need to do some calculations here. I'll do that on my own time. Just testing for carry weight and what the maximum should be, really. And I believe my backpack is giving me a lot right now. Yeah, 40. That's quite a lot. Oh, God. When 4.0 comes out, I plan to add Sacrosanct to my install. That's good, ST, because then we'll have some testing data. I completely forgot. Oh, here, let me sleep. God, is it 4 a.m. already? I'm going to sleep a solid 8 hours. What a good, productive night our character had. Completely forgot that Skyrim VR was a separate purchase, too. Sorry, it wasn't as simple as using the headset. Don't worry about it, Mr. Pyrian. Do I want me to return to this place after I die? Sure, why not? Won't matter for us anyway. Oh, I'm leveling up. Nice. I got some bottled water, right? Let me see. Before I go, Shadow Shane, I see what you mean, but outside the vampire attacks in towns, I didn't see vampires that much in the Dawnguard DLC. It's kind of like the Civil War in vanilla. Everyone is talking about it, yet you see very little actual battles. That I agree with as well. And it is always nice to see some additional reactivity from the world, or just, like you said, something that they say is going on. It's nice to see it actually going on. Luckily, there's immersive patrols. Totally agreed on that too. Sacriletius, Vile Weil. Hi, BB. New to the stream. I've enjoyed YouTube for a while. Well, welcome, Weil, and thank you for joining us. Also, everyone, just so you know, we got 25 minutes left in the stream. ST, yeah, I made all of my accounts with different usernames. Well, at the very least, you get to maintain anonymity for people who you don't want to know your other identities. It's like being a superhero. Don Ju says maybe they have food to spare, so it's a way of demonstrating their growth and power. I was thinking that too. I wonder if Beyond Skyrim project has any chance of being completed. I'd say there's a chance. It seems like the team is pretty dedicated. It does seem like they're announcing many different projects at once, right? So I don't know if they're just developing them in parallel or exactly how that's going to work. But it seems very ambitious, we can say. Felix says that you discussed using bottles for alchemy before too, but the balancing was a lot to consider. That is a whole separate argument. The idea of making potions a little bit heavier so that you can't carry as many is easier to balance, I'd say. Define completed, you mean all provinces. BS is going pretty strong right now, and yeah, it depends on what you mean by complete. I'm actually using it on the beta 4 currently, and it's working great. Balian added it to his install as well. Technically, it's like 7 different projects. That's what I noticed. This, like I said, is very ambitious. I have no idea how they're going about it, but that's awesome. Love stretching. I guess I would need to know their definition of completed, but I would say all provinces. Yeah, see, if you're talking about creating the entire world of Tamriel in Skyrim's engine, I would say that is far less likely than them just adding 7 different new locations with a bunch of content. That is already ambitious in and of itself. And I have a lot of respect for them doing the work that they're doing. Part of that Civil War thing is that Skyrim as a game just isn't very good at large fights between NPCs. That's absolutely true. There are times when it like the first real quest in the Civil War on either side, the one where you go to get the Jagged Crown, I quite enjoy that quest because this is what they try to do with the Civil War quest line, right? Where they justify the small number of NPCs as the task being some sort of tertiary thing that neither side really wants to commit that many resources to, so it gives you kind of this narrative justification for why there aren't like a ton of people. But there's a fair amount in that quest, and it's really fun to participate in the fight, and it's tough because it gives you a taste of what could have been, you know? And it's frustrating. Oh man, I'm losing. Here, let me do this. I'm gonna bring chat up. I should probably do this more regularly. I have a Twitch app on my phone. I can't keep track of the chat here if it scrolls past where I am. Where's my channel? How does this work? I've never actually used this app before. Stream chat. Welcome to the chat room. Shit, I can't go back though. And what has already been. Oh, what did I do? Well, it's multiple project teams. I'm on the Iliac Bay team. Hey, so we got someone who's on the inside. Not really a single defined group, just coordinating for ease of development. Hello, chat. Hi, Kate. How you doing? Thanks for joining us. Good to know. Keep up the good work. Yeah, Sacriletius is a fucking champion. He's got, besides like his actual published mods, we've been talking about like a whole host of just personal tweaks that he's made that are just, it's like when you meet someone who it's like, wow, you're trying to, or like you have the exact same taste as I do in like a lot of things that you make for your own game. I've set the Cobb encumbrance to nerf your speed by 10% of your equip weight percentage. Oh, wow. Dang. Wait a second. How does that work? Set the Cobb encumbrance to nerf your speed by 10% of your equip weight percentage. That's pretty gnarly. Can you show us some blueprints and mechanics behind them, or new blueprints are implemented yet? There are none implemented in this current build, Feodic. What they are is a... Oh, hold on a second. Let me catch up on stream here. Am I... Okay. There we go. Will each province be released separately? I'm actually curious. I think that's the case, right? So I don't know. Isn't SE better at handling those fights? That is true, just because it's more stable as a platform in general. 0% carry weight gives 0% speed nerf. 50% carry weight is a 5% speed nerf. And 100 is a 10% nerf. I gotcha. So it's like a sliding scale, it seems. The engine itself is probably a little better at it. That sliding scale for carry weight is something that I've actually thought about before. it's what makes the most sense to me. It's a little bit less gamey, but it's also a little bit tougher to balance, obviously, since you're making more different types of edits, or more specific edits, I guess you could say. Makes sense. Game mechanics are still not good at it. Even if you plop, like as we saw at the end of the last stream, if you plop like 1 million different actors into the world and have them battle each other, the game has some difficulty getting them to fight in like a decent way. There's mods, I believe we're running some now, that expand the amount of AI actors that can receive the combat packages, because at a certain point you run up against the wall there where the engine literally this is my understanding anyway, I don't want to spread information. You run up against a wall where the game cannot allow any more actors to participate because there's not enough AI processing to go around, to put it very simply, like a layman explanation. Each province will release when it's done. Some provinces share the same world space, so I think they said it'll be cordoned off. Interesting. The 10 stages go in increments of 10%. Gotcha, two hands. I might adopt a similar system, to be honest, just because it kind of makes sense to me, simulation-wise, but we'll see. Felix Lucius, a beast. I'm limited to playing Skyrim on the Xbox One. I was wondering if you could give me any advice on how I could, in a small way, recreate the combat style you have in US. If you aren't familiar with the system, that's perfectly fine, but I thought I'd ask the expert. Unfortunately, while I am not an expert is a title that I would be reticent to give myself in any regard, but unfortunately, I am particularly unknowledgeable when it comes to console modding. I don't have a huge amount of knowledge on what's available. I think that a lot of Enei's mods are available for console, and I know that some of those have really similar kind of philosophical design to some of the stuff that's in Ultimate Skyrim. I also have heard people mentioning Yash's mods, because they do like a similar de-leveled scenario. If you're talking about combat specifically, I would recommend, I don't know if they're available on the consoles, but anything from Combat Evolved to Ultimate Combat I hear is really good. I know that Enei has Wildcat, and I'm pretty sure that Enei's taken the time to make all of his mods portable to the consoles, so I would check there. Otherwise, I would check maybe in our Discord, or maybe even the Skyrim mods subreddit, because unfortunately I don't own any of the consoles myself, actually. I don't have just any personal experience with what's available, unfortunately, but hopefully that gives you something to start on. Kate says, what is this stream about? It is about Ultimate Skyrim, if you're not familiar. It's mostly just gameplay and dev stuff, although I find that the 11:30 and onwards to 12 typically ends up just me chatting with all of you guys, which I like a whole lot. Atru, how you doing, man? I've had like a 120 mod list set up right now, completely inspired by Ultimate Skyrim. The one thing I wish the Xbox could get was Skyrim Souls. That would be super awesome, but I doubt that it'll ever come to the consoles, unfortunately. I really just wish that there was a simple way for everyone to be able to access the coolest mods. That's kind of part of why Ultimate Skyrim exists in the first place, is bringing a large mod list experience to as many people as possible. It's tough, right? Because you can't install SKSE stuff on the consoles. Maybe one day something like that will exist. Wind Up Skeleton. Hey BB, was watching the stream where you talked about the armored circlets. Was just wondering why not use the helmet toggle mod, though I do enjoy the look of those circlets, of course. So the helmet toggle mod, definitely you could use. Honestly, the circlets are a feature that I don't even know if I would use myself, because I'm kind of the opinion that the circlets having the same attributes, like a glass circlet having the same attribute as like a glass helmet. It looks cool, and it's definitely for people who don't mind kind of compromising the simulation aspect of the experience to make their character look a certain way. That's really why I made those edits, is for those players. But I'm more of the mind that, it's like a mod that makes it so that your helmet is invisible but still gives you the armor. That's not really something that I would use, because I like it. I prefer it where if I want to have head protection, I need to be wearing a helmet for however that looks. for like the circlets are probably a feature that wouldn't even fit my own personal use. I just edited them for people who do, because I do think they're cool conceptually. The Dragon Priest masks are a little bit different. That's why I took some more time on those, because they're ostensibly magical, and so you actually could receive a certain degree of, you know, armor for just wearing a circlet, even though it's like because it's a Dragon Priest mask. But the other ones I am not as inclined to use, which is why I probably wouldn't use a mod like remove helmets or whatever it's called. But I see your logic, and I can understand where the question comes from. And you're very welcome for the hard work. Hazardous, Atru, inspired by US. There's no Requiem for Xbox, which is unfortunate. I agree with that. I just love de-leveled worlds, man. Let's see here. There's some mods that are a bit like Requiem, it's true. Or try to accomplish the same things for SE. That's like Omega is another big pack, or maybe it's a singular mod that does some similar stuff. I really don't know. Ever since I started playing Requiem, I was so satisfied with the experience that it's, you know, that's what spawned Ultimate Skyrim, as I said. We got this base overhaul that is just so fucking incredible. Let's use that as the platform and then build from there. True, I have around 120 as well. I have almost perfected it after many, many hours. God knows that's half the fun, if not more so, right? Just building out your load order. Modding is the game, after all. There are various mods that are a bit like Requiem, and nothing the same. Marloot Ultimate, Yash 2. Familiar with Enai and Yash. I use Fatality for combat, a lot like Wildcat, but better. That I'm not familiar with. Fatality. I use Oblivion's over-encumbered system. Pretty simple. Over-encumbered equals not being able to move at all. I found that using movement reduction can be exploited by stacking movement speed enchantments to compensate for it. Stacking movement speed enchantments to compensate for over-encumbrance, that actually is something that I think is kind of cool. Within reason, of course, if they're not like crazy unbalanced. It reminds me of Morrowind, where you could get really creative with your enchantments and do stuff like that, and I always found that to be very cool. Although the flip side there is that you could be really fucking unbalanced in Morrowind. You can break that game in any number of ways. But the problem with creating a static like over encumbrance means that you can't move at all. The problem with that in Ultimate Skyrim is that because of the furniture and like crafting anywhere gameplay, there are instances where the player has to carry something that is very, very heavy. And I could change the weights of those, but there's really not a better mechanism for, say, like when you're crafting a smelter for your house. You need to be able to move around in order to place it where you want it to go. And that is just at least currently, I haven't thought of a better system. Now that I'm actually thinking about it right now, I'm imagining a scenario whereby you carry it and it is so heavy that you can't move it anywhere. So you just have to be careful about, you can move the bench around like where to craft it, right? Or you move the crafting bench somewhere where you plan on putting the smelter. Maybe the smelter is so heavy that you literally can't move, which means that you have to place it there and then use Cobb Positioner to position it after that. It's actually a decent idea. Huh. I'm going to think about that. Because I also like the idea of you being so over encumbered that you can't move. I think that's a good way of balancing stuff. Although functionally, when you move so slow that it just sucks to get from point A to point B, it's almost functionally the same thing as making it so that the character can't move at all. Ultimate Combat requires SKSE since it uses a DLL, so I doubt that's available. Yes, Sarnal. Hey, maybe for their next game, they'll look at the script extenders and just make the common stuff available to start with. That's what I'm thinking. That would be really, really cool if they just add so many different features into the Papyrus scripting engine, if, of course, that is what's used in the next Elder Scrolls, which would be my guess. I think, honestly, we're going to get another enhanced version of the Frankenstein engine that we're working with right now. But well, you know, it's been pretty long between Skyrim and Elder Scrolls 6, so maybe they are finally rebuilding the engine from the ground up. That would be pretty gnarly, wouldn't it be? Especially for us modders. That would be very interesting. I imagine it would look a lot like the old engine, just with maybe less spaghetti code and kind of problem workarounds. God, I don't want to get myself overexcited, but that would be so cool if we actually got a new engine. I'm just expecting that we won't, so that I don't get disappointed. Let's see here. Also, I think we'll go ahead and call the gameplay for now. Let me make a save here just in case you want to continue from this point in a future stream. But I'll just chat with you guys for the remainder of the time. Let's see here. I complain about this a lot. It would be nice if there were more female armor mods that were less slutty. I definitely agree with you there, Kate. I am all about the non-slutty armors. Not that they don't look awesome, right? Thank you, White Ninja, for the follow. You know, they're super hot, don't get me wrong, but they just, God, I can't see something like that without being completely removed from the experience, because I just think that realistically they would not have any place in a world like Skyrim. So I don't implement stuff like that. Does anyone have an opinion on Enai's Wildcat versus Smilodon? I definitely do not, unfortunately. Sacroletius, look for practical female armors on the Nexus. There you go. Really wish that mod was on Xbox. Oh, man. It should be. I figure armor mods are typically the not the easier ones, but the more viable to port to consoles, right? Then again, I know so little about console modding, I don't want to speak out of my ass. Zarno, Fashion Souls is life. Wind Up Skeleton makes sense. Thanks for responding. Oh, my pleasure. It's really, I come here to give you guys some gameplay, also for people watching after the fact. But the primary purpose of these streams, for me at least, is to interact with all of you guys. It gives me a chance to kind of touch base with you. If you have questions about the installation, I can answer those. Just modding talk in general. I think it's really nice being able to interact with everybody, and so that's what I kind of use these streams to do primarily, I would say. What else we got? It's just a mesh replacer, so it should work on Xbox. Fashion is the real end game. That's kind of true. It's fun to make your character look how you want them to. That's why, you know, the whole circlet feature, right, is something that I think is worth spending time on. Something like the Dragon Priest masks, like I said, being convertible into circlets, that's something I would do. One, because I love the way that hoods and circlets look together, and also just because if the Dragon Priests are so magical and so powerful, it is justifiable that they would still provide the armor protection of a helmet, even though they are only a circlet. But in those cases as well, I actually really love the appearance of the Dragon Priest masks, so I don't know if I would change them or use the circlets. Maybe one day. Sadly, I'm stuck on Xbox One, so I can only find so many armors in the game mod shop. It hasn't been ported, I don't believe. I'm also a scrub with under the hood things at Sacroletius. Morrowind is about choosing how you become an unbalanced, not if you become unbalanced. Absolutely true. Ultimate Skyrim is like The Sims, but with a purpose. It's funny you say that, Donju, because, I mean, The Sims are actually like a major influence on my kind of game design principles for Ultimate Skyrim as an experience. It's kind of, I agree with the for a purpose part in particular, because I find all the sim, for me, the sim elements are there to provide context and like a systemic backdrop to the purposeful things that you can do in the world. Like, at the end of the day, I'll always really care about like doing epic stuff and like going on interesting quests and just having reasons to take care of all the sim stuff, or having reasons to like get all the items and get all the stuff, you know, in these games. That was actually an issue. I don't have this issue so much with modded Minecraft, which I think is a wonderful experience. But Minecraft is another big kind of inspiration to me, and I think it is to a lot of people who are interested in crafting gameplay in general. When Minecraft first came out when I was in college and I dabbled in it, I thought that it was so fun in so many ways, but it could never hold my interest. I'm talking about vanilla here. It could never hold my interest for long because there were a lot of different things that you could do, but there wasn't a whole lot of purpose to any of it, because there was no urgency. There wasn't anything like Terraria where, you know, you would craft all this useful stuff and set up your house and you would be like routinely attacked or something like that, where you actually had to make use of defenses or make use of the items that you crafted and got. I always felt like Minecraft was sorely lacking in just a reason for you to do all the stuff that you could do. And so Ultimate Skyrim, by contrast, I really wanted to build up as this experience where there are many different compelling reasons to engage in all the different types of stuff that you can do, if that makes sense. Let's see. Fashions of the Fourth Era just came to Xbox, and it's awesome. I'll write it down now if I don't remember it halfway through the playthrough. What is that mod that adds more random encounters? See, immersive encounters, radiance, extended encounters. And there's now, immersive encounters is immersive world encounters, right? Sacroletius, because that is a new hot commodity on the scene, which I'm so excited to check out post 4.0, because encounter mods are a really big deal to me. Just anything injecting more life and variety into the world, since you're constantly going over the same locations all the time. We got about 10 minutes left in the stream, everybody, just so you know. You don't think a 1-inch wide thong doesn't provide sufficient armor? I can't say that it does. And if it provides any armor at all, I have to say it's probably not a very comfortable thong. 2 hands, 1 sword says, does it break beta 4? What specifically are we talking about there, 2 hands? Slutty armors would make sense for Daedric seducers. Sure. And even then, to a point. Let's see here. This might be my own PAX problem, but I found a duping bug with that safe containers mod. When I looted that mammoth in front of you and then added back items from my own inventory, when I got back to the carcass, it had the hides again. Interesting. Are you talking about dynamic things? Because if so, the feature to make any mod a safe container, or to make any container, rather, a safe container, will not be used in the next version of Ultimate Skyrim 4.0, just because of the new emphasis on legitimately creating safe storage and like the importance of housing and stuff like that. Let's see here. This might be my own PAX problem. I found, I'm reading the same one. Starbound with Frackin' Universe was my sandbox wet dream. I followed Starbound very closely, but I never got around to actually playing it myself. Just because when it first released, it was still in a very early stage, and I was just busy with other stuff. I wonder how it is now, though, because it's been a while, and I really do love Chucklefish, the developer/publisher. In fact, one of my most anticipated games at the moment is Wargroove, which is their Advance Wars style, kind of like an Advance Wars Fire Emblem hybrid that's coming out for Nintendo Switch. I'm really excited for that game. And that's, I believe, actually developed by Chucklefish. Oh, and also Stardew Valley was one of my favorite games of like the past few years, but that is just published by them and not developed by them. I was actually watching your Ultimate Skyrim Season 1 earlier, and the introduction made it sound like you actually worked with Bethesda. I love that you sounded so professional. That's really kind of you to say, Kate. I really appreciate the compliment. I did not work with Bethesda, unfortunately, but I really do appreciate the sentiment. His professional, his fiancée is his project manager. Ha! That's becoming more and more true by the day. My fiancée she's an excellent project manager. She's excellent organizationally, like in her actual work, her actual job. And so I've just been learning a ton from her in terms of managing my own project, because it's just not something I'm good at. I am far more of like a scatterbrain kind of, well, scatterbrain is a good way to put it, but I have lots of ideas all the time, and bringing them to fruition is always the part that I've had trouble with in my life. And Ultimate Skyrim, I would say, as a project, is probably the singular thing that I've worked the hardest on, like in my life in general. When I was in school and I had all these opportunities to develop project management skills and organizational skills, I was more interested in partying and generally the social element of school, we'll say. My major was really fun, and I had a really good time in college just as an overarching experience, but my organizational skills are hugely lacking, so it's been a very interesting challenge to finally kick my butt into gear and do that stuff, because you really do need it when you have a project of this scale. Let's see. Extended encounters causes papyrus errors and is bugged. Oh no! The people in the encounters follow you forever and go to your exact location, even if you're sneaking. You're talking about the newest version of Extended Encounters by John ST? Because if so, that's really sad. Yep, I got tired of hearing the lunatic and knowing the werewolf was going to come to my exact location. Immersion ruining. Ah, man. Well, that is unfortunate. But I know that there's some other players on the scene right now, so I guess I'll dabble with those first. Thank her. Geez, I've spent 400 hours in 3 different playthroughs with US. I will definitely pass that along, Felix. God, I wonder at this point how many hours have been spent just in U.S. development in general. In a way, I suppose you could count all of the experience that I had with Skyrim modding up through even like college. That was one of the things that I spent a lot of time doing in college, was playing games with my buds, and I spent a lot of time Skyrim modding because Skyrim came out when I was a sophomore. Yes. And actually, my funny story of I mean, it's not really a story. It's not like tremendously funny either. But when Skyrim came out in college, I basically, like any of my friends can tell you, I would consider myself like a fairly social person in college, and I like to, go to all the parties and stuff that we had. But when Skyrim came out, 11/11/11, I just cloistered myself off for like 2 weeks practically. It's like I'd go to class, and even then, tentatively go to class. I did not go to a lot of class, which I do not recommend, by the way, and I mean that with all seriousness. If you are in school, go to class. At least really, really try to go, because there were so many classes that I did not attend for what I thought were good reasons at the time, and I enjoyed myself otherwise. But looking back, I do have some regret as to some of the education that I missed by not attending some of my classes more frequently. But long story short, that was when Skyrim first came out, it was like, it felt like I'd waited so long, and I was so excited. I don't think I ever am more excited for video games than when a new Bethesda release is out. Same thing with Fallout 3. Fallout 4 was actually interesting to me because it's the only one where I wasn't like champing at the bit, actually, is the expression. I recently learned that chomping at the bit is not correct. It's champing, because it's like a horse term. Weird. But when Fallout 4 came out, I was so busy with other stuff, and I think because I was so busy with Skyrim that I kind of passed that one over a little bit, and I've never really spent that much time with it. And the time that I did feel that compulsion to play, because it's a Bethesda game, right? And you got to test it out. And I had a good time with what I played. But for me, I think it was a combination of I was kind of annoyed at how I was shoehorned into this role of, parent, and I didn't like the dialogue system, and there were a couple other things that were not really my style about Fallout 4, so that when the opportunity to kind of shift gears onto something else came, I pretty quickly took it. But I think it's still cool, and it seems like the modding community exists. But anyway, I'm never more excited for games than when a new Bethesda game comes out, especially Elder Scrolls. And that's something that I think is kind of funny, because it's very easy to talk shit on Bethesda, and some of it's well-deserved, but they also do so many things so wonderfully. And for all the complaints we have about the experiences that they provide, the experiences that they do provide, like the modded games that we play, would not exist without the tremendous amount of work and the platform that they provide for us, which is always so amazing in many ways, because they make games unlike anyone else. No one makes games quite like Bethesda. There are people who do things that Bethesda tries to do much better than Bethesda does, arguably. But all-encompassing, the experiences provided by Bethesda games are pretty unlike anything else made by any other developer, and I think that's a big part of the reason why they're so successful. They're very unique. I think it's interesting that Cyberpunk 2077 decided to go with a first-person perspective, or an optional first-person perspective. I think that was very strongly influenced by Bethesda and their games because of just the potential immersion that creates. But that's neither here nor there, I suppose. Oh shit, I ran out of... I'm going to have to end this. How about this? We'll go to 12:10. Because I do have stuff I got to do today. Development stuff. It is... Oh! Did I miss... Oh, because my phone went... Man, so in order to keep chat updated, I got to keep my phone on. I saw someone talking about trying to improve FPS in Riften. If you're talking about in US, I would consider cutting out the Dawn of Skyrim series. Otherwise, maybe inconsequential NPCs. But it shouldn't run terribly. I put a good 200 hours into Fallout 4 with 50 gigabytes of mods, though. See, I'd be very interested to hear about what sort of modding experiences are available in Fallout 4, because I just don't know. Maybe one day I'll go dig through and just kind of see what the most popular mods are. I know of some mods, like the overhauls, like, is it Frost, or... I know Dust is the one for Fallout New Vegas. I think Frost is the one for Fallout 4. That was intriguing to me. Kate Buck says, what are your thoughts on the Inigo mod? I've never used it myself. God, it seems like everyone absolutely loves it and feel like his character is really... Everyone feels like his character is really well voice acted and just adds a lot of depth, or he's a character that has a lot of depth. I think that you don't get this many people that stoked about a mod without it doing something really excellent. So one day I'm going to go ahead and test it out. The only reason I haven't implemented it into the installation at large is because it uses a proprietary follower system, and consistency is like my favorite thing. But that's not like a huge deal, to be honest, if it means getting something that is so grand otherwise. I'm more hyped about the many projects for Skyrim. I'm not really interested in TES 6 at this point. Nigo's my homeboy. I mean, you can imagine that I am super hyped about Skyrim modding too, just given the nature of what I do. And let me tell you, I've said this in other streams, I am so fucking excited for the future of Ultimate Skyrim and all of the stuff that I have planned for post 4.0. But I can't help but be excited about Elder Scrolls 6 just to see what they come up with. The Elder Scrolls universe might be my favorite video game universe in history. And even from that perspective, it's interesting. That's why even Elder Scrolls Online is still interesting to me, even though I don't really think it's my type of game. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, God. Let's see. Best Fallout 4 mod is to uninstall it and play something else. Ouch. Shade. I may just have to start fresh and focus on base gameplay. Best Fallout 4 mod is a loot overhaul that makes items and ammo scarce. See, that's the kind of thing that I'd be looking for, like at first glance in Fallout 4. There's too much shit to pick up in Bethesda games. I agree with that completely. Two hands, which is why I'm adding these weight restrictions, right, to the game, so that you have to think critically about the stuff that you are picking up. Beta 5 will utilize Automaton, correct? Yes, that is correct, ST. In fact, you could argue that the primary purpose of Beta 5 is to give us a test environment for Ultimate Skyrim and Automaton before we make 4.0 public, just to make sure everything works properly and everything gets hammered out nicely. It's looking like Hammerfell for TES 6, and that makes me sad. I wanted High Rock so badly. Are you sure it's not going to be High Rock, Last Pharaoh? Because that is what I would prefer as well. It's crazy to me how you have pretty much built an entirely different game that will assuredly have hours pumped into it for years to come, BB. Well, I appreciate that compliment, Weil. Me and the modders whose work go into it, it's just... I've said it before, I'll say it a million times, that the reason that Ultimate Skyrim can exist... I really do appreciate the compliment, and I know exactly how many hours it takes to build out Ultimate Skyrim specifically, but the reason that Ultimate Skyrim can exist is because you have 8 years of extremely talented people creating mods that just have a tremendously profound impact on how the game plays. And Ultimate Skyrim is essentially, I mean, it is like in and of itself, like I like to think of it as a new game. It's like a new game where you have tons and tons of developers all working on their own like individual features, you know, and then it just takes all those features and then bops them into a singular experience and then adds its own stuff on top of those to make them work together and to, you know, fill in any gaps in what the experience intends. It's why one of the reasons why it's so special to me is that there's not really a whole lot of things like this possible in games. You think about any AAA developer or any developer in general, you know, just having 8 years to work on a game. You can do a lot more in 8 years than you can in 4, you know, obviously. And a lot of developers they go and they create a game, but they have major constraints on how much time they have to work on it. And it's even like with Bethesda, you know, like you can see so many things that they wanted to do with the game that are alluded to through breadcrumbs in the files. And they just couldn't because of constraints. And Ultimate Skyrim to me represents a project, like a role-playing project, with far less constraints, because you have all the combined man hours of the mods that it utilizes, plus the combined man hours of Ultimate Skyrim itself. It's just a very special experience, and I think I'm partially so passionate about it because I think it provides an experience that is unlike anything else you can get out there. That's heavy modded experiences in general, you know? Where did I leave out? There we go. Are you doing gameplay? I'm making for you to play. Time and Space, how you doing? Making for you to play US again. So we got a fair amount of gameplay in this stream. I'd say about an hour and a half. I'm doing Season 2 when 4.0 launches, along with a whole host of other videos. The video side of this project is going to get a whole lot of love, I would say, given the love that, you know, the development side of things has gotten for 4.0. I also really, just for whatever it's worth, I really plan on quickening the pace of releases after 4.0. The only reason that 4.0 is like so huge and taking so long is because going from 3.4 to 4.0 is practically a relaunch of the game. But short answer, yes, I will be doing Season 2, and I have some really big plans for how that will go versus Season 1 that I think people who enjoyed the first season are really going to like. ST, cool. I'm thinking of nuking my installation and doing it fresh when Beta 5 releases. That's what we'll need, ST. That's the data that we're looking for, is people going from a fresh installation, or a fresh non-installation, I guess you could say, you know, seeing their experiences with Automaton. I'm still going to be rolling in Ultimate Skyrim even with the release. I think the role-playing aspect of Requiem is going to keep me in. That's how I feel. But I also do want High Rock. It's the origin of politics. Absolutely, that inner family struggle in High Rock is what I would look forward to the most if there was a High Rock game. I don't know. I got my fingers crossed. Definitely not sure. The new trademark Redfall seems more like Hammerfell, because it might not even be Elder Scrolls. I saw that theory that said Redfall might be like the plague that people are fighting against, which I thought was pretty a really cool concept if they did something like that, where Perrier would be like the big bad guy. Trailer sure has the signs of Hammerfell geography. Through lore, Cyrodiil doesn't necessarily look like that. That's what I was going to say. Maybe the geography is different now and it isn't Hammerfell, just speculation. What I really like is how US stays with the lore and provides a very consistent experience. I'm glad you appreciate that, ST, because it's very important to me. At the end of the day, the intention of Ultimate Skyrim is still for you to inhabit Skyrim specifically in the Elder Scrolls universe. So maintaining lore is very important to me. It's up there with all the other kind of main design pillars in Ultimate Skyrim for sure. There's a mod called FPS Boost that says it's a remake of the Skyrim Performance Plus mod that Felix mentioned. Usually I'm skeptical about stuff like this, but I think I'll try it out now. It's always worth it. I think that like a Skyrim project optimization works primarily through occlusion planes, which really does help FPS a lot. But if new stuff is coming out, you could always just make a new save and test it to your heart's content. I also loved your Kingdom Come Let's Play, but I guess it took too much time away from US development. It did, unfortunately, Time and Space, but I appreciate the compliment. I had a really good time playing that game, and it was really, really fun. And I was actually thinking about that game yesterday, and hopefully at some point in the future I'll have time to revisit a lot of that stuff and do just like the general gameplay streams. It's just tough because I really do need the time for development, and I just, at this point, I can't afford to spend a ton of time on projects other than Ultimate Skyrim, because to me Ultimate Skyrim is the bread and butter, and it's going to be the vehicle through which I'm able to achieve many of my other ambitions. And that's why I say maybe later in time there will be an opportunity to pursue some of those kind of side projects, but as of now I think that my focus really needs to be with Ultimate Skyrim, so that I actually have the opportunity to be successful and pursue some of those side projects that I have in mind. But that would be a good example of one, is being able to play other games, because I have a pretty wide breadth of interest in games in general, and I really like playing a lot of different stuff, and especially for all you guys. Let's see, concerning modding, I think the brightest timeline would be open source development being standard. Once a game is released, the devs would still profit off future sales, and the community can take over development once the devs leave it. It's crazy to think about, Time and Space, what modding would look like if it were open source. I think that, because I've always thought about the nature of like Skyrim modding and how, at least for some people, the kind of parlor nature of mod permissions, I think, encourages some people to mod. But on the whole, I do think that open permissions would result in a healthier modding community in general. I don't know. It's pretty tough to say. If open permissions and open source modding also allowed just open redistributing, I don't know. That's something that's very interesting to me, because in theory it could like put me out of a job, so to speak. But I do think that just regardless of myself and my own involvement, I think that an open source modding community would result in the highest degree of modding quality and quantity both. And it would be interesting to see. It's just weird to think about how we'd get from where we are now to something like that, because there are so many difficult questions that need to be answered, not even just principally for modders, but also for companies like Bethesda, and like the legalities of it all are pretty complex. So I don't know if it's something we'll ever see, but I'm interested to see it myself, regardless of how it impacts me. And honestly, if it ever came to a time where, it's like I can do what I do now because there's a way for me to be compensated for it through like Patreon, and that is really wonderful, and I'll always be grateful for that. But if it comes to a day where that's no longer possible because of just progress, like in the modding communities, that's just how it'll have to be. It's something that I've thought about before, and life is full of pivoting, right? And things rarely work out exactly the way that we hope they will. If we're lucky, they do. But adapting, I think, is an important life skill. And I'd hate to ever stand in the way of progress, It makes me think of fucking like coal lobbyists and oil lobbyists who, well, I won't get into it. But I don't know. I'd be grateful for the time, and then just find something else that you can do that utilizes the skills that you've built on. I really hope that we are in a lower stakes plot. You're talking about for Elder Scrolls. I agree with that too. Just something that could, because like the main quest in Skyrim is exactly, it's a perfect example of what we were talking about before, where it's so urgent that it makes you feel weird if you decide to do anything else besides the main quest. When there's dragons threatening to literally undo the fabric of the world, you feel a little guilty when you go off to pick flowers or, craft a sword or do anything that the games provide for you to do that are fun to do. Or at least maybe we can push off the point in the main quest when it becomes so high stakes. I don't mind the high stakes, but from like quest 4 of the main quest in Skyrim, it's very easily the most important thing that's going on in the world, and it makes it kind of odd to spend your time elsewise. Let's see. I used back RSA. Well, actually, my time is up. I'm over, actually. But I do enjoy talking with you guys about all this kinds of stuff. This is why I really love doing these streams. I'll finish out the chat here. All my mods are open source, if that makes any difference. I remember that, Sacroletus. So you were contributing to the good fight, I suppose. I will have more involvement around Christmas. I will subscribe and update that sweet Xmas money. Well, I appreciate it, Felix, but please don't overextend yourself. Very true. I think a shift in how we look at collaborative development as a whole and software development. I'm sure it's possible to implement while still retaining intellectual property profits. I don't. That dabbles in knowledge that I simply don't have. Time and space. Like I'm talking, like intellectual property law. I really hope you're right. I think that as a layman, my guess is that you're right, and I'm optimistic for such a development environment to exist one day where people still can make the money that they need to live good lives and to save and, be healthy and everything like that, while also creating a development environment where people can really create the best possible stuff through a high degree of collaboration and open source work. It's just getting from, I guess that's how you do anything, right? Is you start with that endpoint, and then you start to think about how you'd get there moving backwards. So maybe it's time that we all start doing that. It's tough when everyone's just I spend most of my time working on this because that's what allows me to live and to, pay rent and everything like that, and it doesn't leave a ton of time for philosophical stuff like that. But maybe we'll start to have an opportunity to have those conversations. Maybe even we already are having those kinds of conversations just through stuff like this. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how it develops. And as technology advances, that stuff, I think, becomes more viable. Felix, you take care as well. That's what I loved about Majora's Mask, the urgency. Sure, but there's a mechanic for rewinding, and it makes sense because everything is super urgent, but you can actually travel back in time to where it's slightly less urgent, and so you have a reason to do other things. You were heard right along out of the gate. Great stream. Hopefully I'll be here next week. Thanks for joining me, Wild. Thank you everyone for joining me for the stream. It's tremendously fun, as always. And I'll call it there. Thanks for the help in the encumbrance mods. No problem, Two Hands. I'm excited to see how your system works. Always leave Delphine hanging at Kynesgrove for 3 in-game months before I get around to it. I do the same thing, Atru. I really do. Just because I don't, the quest line from that point forward, it just goes so fast, and it just makes it so hard for me to internally justify doing anything else at all. Anyway, I will use that opportunity to say goodbye. Thank you all for joining me as always, and we'll be back at the same time next week if you can make it. Your work furthers the conversation. You are living proof of concept for how collaborating and using others' work to create something new and cool. Time and space. I have warm fuzzies, genuinely, from you saying that. I really appreciate it, my friend. Might be around for another stream. If not, you'll hear from me in the YouTube comments. Well, I always love hearing from you there, too. All of you, really. It's another area in which I would spend all my time replying to YouTube comments if I didn't stop myself, because I enjoy the collaborative nature, we'll say. Snot nose. I'll see you later. Thank you all for joining me, and I will see you in the next one.